Let's get it going. Chat. We're here, live in the flesh. Malcolm Smith. I'm here in my home office, hair unkept. Jeez Louise. I can't believe I just did podcast looking like this with a gentleman named Mr. Todd Recknagel, um, an expert in franchising, has led franchisors, is a franchisee, a multi-unit franchisee, has private equity backing, and is building community and business. And I can't believe I went on there looking like this. I tried to comb my hair, y'all. Lost my pick. It's time for another one. All right. So, does anybody ever wonder what it's like for an NFL player when the music stops? Not necessarily the music, when the stadium lights fade, when, there's no game. There's no game anymore. My whole life was driven by a scoreboard. There's no game. I'm out here trying to create new scoreboards. Is it endless golf? Is there something else that's happening? What have I been up to since my career has ended? So let's dive into it. Let's pull back the curtain. You guys get to see I'm in my office. Behind me, there is some games. Not the best setup, right? We can obviously do better than this. We'll have to flip this around next time. Hey, we're getting started. You got to start somewhere. But let's pull it back. So what have you been up to, Mal, since your playing career stopped? Me, still working out, still trying to stay fit. Um, Different though. I got two kids now. I don't have a game. My life went from everything being centered around me to not so much. I'm a husband and a father, and those things take precedent. So my kid's schedule is kind of the most important. That kind of drives the week for my wife and I. Obviously, she works, and I'm in process of figuring out where to pour my purpose and passion into next. Since finishing, I worked in real estate private equity for a hot minute to see if I wanted to do that at an institutional level. Um, wasn't the best fit for me. I loved the group where I was at. I thought that the team was awesome and they were building something excellent. But I kind of wanted to strike out on my own and do something not for myself, by myself, um, but where I could take a lead. Still investing in real estate. I've been doing that for about the past 10 years. And so, whether that's development, private lending, buy and hold, consulting with other folks who are thinking about getting into deals, whether that be multifamily, triple net, residential, retail, talking about all those things. Love that. Wealth building. I would say generally, I love to invest. I love to trade. I love flipping odds and bets and trying to get asymmetrical return. Now, outside of the joys of exercising and investing, still love football. Obsessed. Love watching all the teams I used to play for. So that's the Seahawks, the Raiders, the Niners, the Browns. My little stint with the Cowboys and the Jaguars, not so much. Don't watch them so much, but obviously love watching playoff games. Love watching the young, great players today. It's been fun to not be in pain and watch football and stay around the game. What do I miss about playing? When it comes to playing, I miss the music in the locker room. I miss being updated. I miss knowing what 22-year-olds listen to every day. I miss that. I miss the hot tub. I miss the cold tub. I miss the treatment. I miss team periods in practice because I did love that. I love when you got, good on good, and our group offense versus the defense and going back and forth. Um, when I was playing, the most nerve wracking part of the game was the beginning, the first couple of plays. And it's like, okay, we combat between settling in and being patient and waiting for opportunities, or just starting fast and trying to rip people's heads off from the get go. Later in your career, you just start playing freer and freer the more information you get. So I missed that beginning of the game, that heightened sense of awareness that came from like taking a shot on something. and I missed the scoreboard. I missed the scoreboard. I have to create scoreboard. So right now we're looking for businesses to buy. We're looking to whether that's multi-unit franchising, whether that's lower middle market businesses, or investing in middle market or larger companies and opportunities. We're looking at opportunities, but we don't have a scoreboard. We have a list of all the spreadsheet of all the returns and all of the investments we've made as a family, but there's nothing like the scoreboard and knowing that with 4 minutes left in the game, we're down. We got to get another possession for the offense so they can go down and score. I miss the scoreboard. That's probably the biggest thing. You get instant feedback. The last thing, probably coaching. There are no coaches outside of football. I went back to school. I got my MBA from Wharton. Shout out to Wharton San Francisco campus. And teaching is excellent and is a privilege to be taught. And the relationship that a person has with their coach, oh man, it is such a privilege to be coached and guided. And so now it's about building relationships with folks so I can look at as coaches and mentors and mentees and people have just maybe a couple steps ahead in life. Maybe their kids are a little older on the parenting front. Maybe they've been investing for a long time and they've got trends that they've noticed and places where pitfalls can hide. So I love to learn from those people about that. And besides that, man, it's trying to find places and points of purpose and passion. Places and points of purpose and passion. Say that 3 times fast. For me, my life has been most fulfilling when I could pour myself into wherever I was at, and whether that's coaching youth football, playing football, running some of the camps we've run over the years, talk about my relationship as a parent with my kids, as a husband who tries to be not a boring husband, all of those things and how important those are things where I can find purpose, right? So now trying to open up new doors and see where is there additional purpose? Where can I serve others? Where can I have my cup filled? Obviously, there's nothing like coaching. And if I had, what would it take for Malcolm to become to want to be a coach in professional sports or collegiate sports? Those guys make a great sacrifice. I think you heard Mike McDonald, the time he spends with his kid. And I'm sure that, obviously that's in season at the most critical time of the season to spend 30 minutes with your kid. It's nuts, right? But that's the kind of sacrifice it takes to be great. And I was okay doing that as a player. I'm not necessarily into that as a father. I will do it for my kids, but I have a hard time, missing some of the stages of life that they're going through. So that's what I've been up to. We'll bounce around. We'll take some looks. We'll get out of this office. We'll see what it looks like in real life to go out and live life as a former professional athlete. What's exciting about that? What's not? And I'm glad to start the beginning of the video. We're starting the beginning of a journey with content creation. Content is king. What are we looking at? What are you doing? Like I said, I love investing. I love looking at opportunities, risk, trading off the risk and reward, growth, fixed investments, cash flow. That's a passion of mine. I've decided that I can't be managed, so I manage a lot of these things on my own. And I think it's just because there's a layer of separation that you have, and it doesn't feel like it may not feel like it's yours, and that's in anything. I think that's why I get the entrepreneurial itch. There's a desire to lead outcomes and control outcomes. I think that may be a part of being a part of a team for so long, you find your role, but now it's like you get a chance to create roles. So that's where we're at. Let's do it. Let's dive in. Happy you're here. Thanks.